and welcome back to Freak of the Week Wednesday. I'm Linda,
And I'm Rosie.
and today I'm going to tell you a brief story of one of my freaks of the week.
Oh boy. Hold on to your socks.
All right. This was a long time ago. A friend of mine had signed me up for It's Just Lunch. Friend signs me up for this. She pays and everything. I feel obligated to do it. For those of you that don't know, It's Just Lunch is something where it's just lunch. You meet it's a personalized dating service. They set you up with people and you meet them for lunch. And if you like them, great. If you don't have to see them again. So
It's like a little bit of a matchmaking thing.
yeah. So um, I met a couple people. I didn't think anything of it. Nice people, not for me. And then one time I'm meeting this person, and it's a little bit after lunch. I'm running back from New York City. I'm working sales. I hadn't eaten all day. I was starving. And they always made us go to this bar. I swear to God, somehow they had some kickback for that bar. At 2 o'clock, I've been running around from the city. I get to this place, and it's too late, obviously, kind of for lunch, but it's too early, and it's between shifts. Anyway, it was pretty much what I consider like a lower kind of a bar. But I go in, and I'm standing there, and I'm waiting, and it's the days when you're dressed in a suit, the whole 9 yards.
And you're
And
not in New York City, are you?
no, I'm in New Jersey.
Okay.
So this guy, it's the parking lot's empty, right? So this guy walks because there's nobody there. So the place is pretty much empty. So this guy walks in. I thought he was a delivery person. He looked exactly like that fella from the taxi, the one with the big hair. What was his name? Jim. Jim Ignatowski. Was it Jim Ignatowski? Exactly like him. Exactly
Right.
like him.
He looks crazy.
Yeah, like a crazy person. So
Oh boy.
I'm thinking he's a delivery guy, and he comes and he gives me one of these, no joke, and says to me, "You don't look like Christina Applegate." And I looked at him and I'm thinking, this is weird. And he goes,
Who said you did?
well, his imagination, and he says, "You don't look like Christina Applegate." Oh, I only date young, pretty girls. And then it hit me that
If
he
you're gonna
was the guy. So I looked at him and I said, "Ooh, you're a little off." So I said, "Well, I'm so sorry that someone said to you that I look like Christina Applegate. I apologize for that. I'm sorry you were disappointed." So he continues to kind of pretty girls. I only date pretty girls. How old are you? You're not young. Like he really was off.
you're
So
not young.
So now, so now I'm sitting there. It's 2 o'clock. I'm shaky because I haven't eaten. I still got about an hour's worth of work to do once I get back. So I says, let me grab a quick grilled cheese and I'll eat really fast and then I'll run back to the office. So I say, I'm so sorry that you were disappointed. I kept saying, "Oh, I understand. I'm so sorry you were disappointed." I says, "Well, good luck to you." And I went to the bar and I ordered a grilled cheese, never thinking that he was going to come sit next to me. Never thinking.
Can I stop you real quick? Was Christina Applegate ever a brunette? I've
No.
known you a super long time, and well, first of all, I know you've never been a blonde.
Uh-uh.
So let's start with that. And I'm no expert on Christina Applegate, but I never thought she was a brunette. So
Right? Okay. So, crazy, right? So he's sitting next to me, and now I'm like, so I figure, he's here, you know me. I go like this, I go, "So what made you join, the just lunch, right?" I don't remember what he said at the time. But anyway, so I'm eating, and the bartender's looking at me like, "If you want me to get rid of him, I will." But whatever. So he sat there and I asked him questions. So I said, "So what do you do?"
by the way,
Because
that's a
it
good
was
bartender. That's a good bartender to be on the lookout.
Yeah, well, there was nobody else in the place. And he's like,
Well,
so, but he's like, look, and he's just, this guy was just like this constant thing about Christina Applegate, pretty girls. And I was just like, okay, let it go. So he is telling me what he does. He works at his a family business, and they put him in the warehouse. I says, oh well, that's nice, but he's a musician and he's going to play the guitar.
Oh,
Lovely.
God.
Then he's telling me all of these bands that he loves, and the girls go crazy for him because of the guitar playing and everything. Mind you, as I'm good
At any
job.
point, did you think of telling him he looked like Reverend Jim from Taxi?
Nah, nah. So I go, can I get the bill? She puts the bill down, and his beer is on my bill. I don't care. I pay cash. I put it down. I tip, and I says, well, listen, I'm sorry again that you were disappointed, but I wish you the best. I wish you the best in everything you do. I get up and I walk out, and I'm like, I'm kind of annoyed because I'm running from freaking New York to come over here. I could have went right to the office. So I go and I leave, and all of a sudden, somebody's banging on my window, and I'm having like a panic attack. Oh my God, he's a killer, he's a murderer. So I don't roll down the window, and I always take my father's advice. Somebody comes by the car, you don't ask questions, you just run them down. You just hit the gas, just keep going, do not stop.
Wait, drive to a police station. Yeah.
That's a police station. So now I'm kind of like, what the hell? Like, and he goes, you paid for my beer. And I said, yeah. And he's like, no, you paid for my beer. That's so nice. And I go, well, I go like this. I go, it's a good thing to be nice. I says, listen, good luck to you. Now everything was good luck to you. Bye-bye. I cannot wait to get the hell away from him.
Oh,
So
God.
I pedal to the metal. I'm out of there. I go into the office. I'm doing my work. I'm not even thinking about it, right? I see the gal who set me up with this, and she says to me, how did this go? I go, I don't even want to talk to you about it. This guy was crazy. I don't want to go out anymore these days. These people are insane. I get a phone call from the girl who either, like you said, owns the franchise or who does the setup. And this is how she starts the conversation. She's like, well, Linda, she goes, can I ask you some questions about yesterday? And I'm thinking, are you out of your mind, lady? Right? Like,
Had you
what are you?
never thought about it at this point? Had you just kind of blocked it? Like, hey, that was like a run in and I'm done.
Yeah, you know me. I'm to the next. I was busy. I was working. I had stuff to do. So, and again, there's very few things, virtually none that I take personally. So, I said, so she goes, so she starts questioning me about the date. And she says, well, what did you think of the date? And I'm thinking to myself, are you out here? Like, did you not talk to this person before? So I said, listen, I
Pardon me for
said,
interrupting. That's the premise that they're supposed to like screen them and yeah.
and the girl who set me up with this spent quite a bit of money. And the fact that this guy kind of got in the mix, I'm like, this person is not, in my opinion, I mean, I don't know anything about him. I really knew very little other than what he told me in the, 15, 20 minutes it was to eat a grilled cheese. I mean, in my opinion, you wouldn't set him up with anybody. He's somebody that you might say, listen, I'm really sorry, but I don't know if we can find somebody for you, or we're filled, whatever it would be that you need to say. Because
How much
let's
did
face
they
it,
tell you about him?
they said he's a really nice guy.
Really
He
funny?
he's he's really funny. He's a really nice guy, and that I remember this. He comes from a very successful family. You need to meet him. That's kind of how they positioned it. And I wasn't very discerning because I again, I wasn't really so much into it, right?
And it was kind
But
of a gift. I mean, it was kind of yeah.
so I said, listen, I go like this. I said, and I was very honest. I said, I think there's something wrong with that guy. I go, I wouldn't set him up with people. I go, because he kept talking about Christina Applegate. I said, I don't think he has the social skills to really date. So she says to me, well, I tell you something? She says, I was expecting you to call me up and yell at me because every time I set him up with somebody, they call me up and they yell. And I said,
Well, then why
okay,
did you keep setting him up?
right? his family pays for the service because his family is trying to get him connected with a person, right? So he was in the database for 6 years. So for 6 years, this guy has been circling Hudson, Bergen County, God knows what other county they had him in, right? Meeting people, and it was always the same thing until me. And his feedback was this: that was a great person that I met. It was a great, listen to this. It was a great date. That's the exact type of person I need to meet, but she needs to look like Christina Applegate.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Other than that pesky little fact. Yeah.
Right. And she goes, what? She goes, I gotta just ask, like, what transpired? Like, what? And I said, listen, all I did was listen to him. I bought him. I listened to the conversation. I wasn't rude to him or disrespectful because most girls would have said, "F you," and they would have been freaking out of there.
Yeah.
But I didn't. And, that was the end of that. And it was funny because after that, she always tried to get me people. And I'm like, no, can't you give my girlfriend her money back? Because this is just a waste of time.
By the way.
Did you?
I did.
And what did you think?
I was an idiot. I was a freak. Super short. I went out with a really cute guy, and I liked him. And we were arguing about the fact that you have to make Caesar salad in a wooden bowl. So I sent him a wooden bowl. And that's the last I ever heard from him.
You were a freak. You definitely got freak there. Ding, 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 ding.
I have to prove my point.
We'll just send somebody a wooden bowl.
I did.
I know.
To prove I was right.
I'm not
all
really
right.
sure.
All right. So I'm a freak. I'm fine.
Okay. And again, just remember, you are
somebody's freak of the week.